Welcome, welcome, take your seat where wisdom and strategy finally meet. Leadership, purpose, vision, insight, relevant solutions. Shine in the light. Shine in the light. Got a problem? Let's find the way. Turning obstacles into purpose today. From the boardroom to ministry to building strong leaders, making dreams come true. Knowledge and wisdom, insight and grace, helping you navigate every place. When challenges rise and the pressure's on, relevant solutions keeps moving strong. Relevant solutions, that's what we do.
Welcome, everyone, to Relevant Solutions, where we have real conversations with real people that need real solutions. The podcast where leadership meets purpose and conversations lead to transformation. I am Dr. Ebony Wallace. I'm an educator, a strategist, a speaker, and an author. Each week, we will tackle problems that nobody prepared us for. Problems that lead to practical solutions in faith, leadership, life, business, education, and personal growth. Every challenge deserves a solution. Welcome. Today's guest, I'm super excited, is none other than Dr. Rasheda Jackson. She is one of those people who I can name, has a list of accolades, positions, titles. But one of the things I appreciate the most about her is she's a business, a serial entrepreneur. She owns a tax company. She's a mentor, a pastor, a leader, and a really great friend. So we're going to dive in with her. We'll let her tell a little bit more about herself as she gets started with her story. Just who you are beyond the title and what experience prepared you for what you're doing today.
So I think that thank you, Dr. Ebony, for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here with you. I count you as a great friend. I call you sister, because literally we share a sister. And so with that, I think that beyond all the accolades, one of my favorite titles is grandma. So I love being a mother and a grandmother. Those are the two best things that I can tell the audience about me. But what prepared me for what I am doing today is really having to learn resilience and tenacity through life's challenges, through the natural challenges of life. Having been a teenage parent, I realized that I was either going to be a success or a statistic. And that's what prepared me to be able to really put the work in the way that I do today.
So adversity taught you resilience. How important is resilience in being a business entrepreneur? How did those early life experiences, having resilience, having that adversity, how did that train you for what you're doing now?
That literally showed me that no matter what you're going through, no matter what you go through, no matter what bad decisions you make. So let me be accountable that even at a 15-year-old age, you can still make bad decisions when you don't have the protection and you're allowed to make those decisions for yourself, that you can truly overcome it if you make the mindset decision to do so. Mm-hmm. I just said to myself, literally, I said, God, if you help me through this, because see, we do business with God, the only partner that you'll ever need.
I love it.
If you help me through this, if you help me to see my way through this, show me what and how to do it, I will not quit. I won't quit. So there's an old adage, and you probably have heard it before, when they talk about how somebody dug a hole and dropped the goat down in the hole, and so they were going to bury him alive. And I heard that adage as a child. So what happened is that every time they would shovel dirt on the goat, he would shake it off and pack it under his feet. So eventually he found himself back on top. And that's really what the message of resilience is. It doesn't matter what is thrown on you. If you just keep shaking it off and packing it under your feet, you eventually will rise.
And you are a perfect testament of that. Like everything that you have had to go through, from being a teen mom to starting businesses to becoming a leader to becoming a mentor. One of the things that I've learned from you most is your ability to be transparent And so you have accomplished more than most people who have lived an 80-year-old life, but you're still transparent and letting people know, look, it's not that I've had everything all clean or handed to me, but like the goat, I was able to shake it off and use it for my next level. I don't get stuck. That's one of the things, you're like always moving on to the next thing. So if I'm a listener, what advice do you wish somebody would have gave you sooner? What would you give them?
You have everything in you that you need. You don't need anybody else's validation to do what it is that you envision doing. You do not need any other partners than God. You need collaborations because that is the currency in 2026, to collaborate with others, but you do not need a partner. Your validation comes from God. Your ideas, if you allow him to order your steps, he will open up every single door and let you live the life that he prepared for you before the foundation of the world. We're not gonna preach, but the reality is that in this big old age, it took a lot. It took failed businesses, it took failed partnerships, it took money loss, it took all of that for me to realize that I am Rasheda Jackson. Forget the doctor, forget all the accolades and all the things I've been able to accomplish. Forget that I'm a corporate baddie, right?
Right.
But I am Rasheda Jackson. That's who God calls me. And because he calls me that, he's my greatest partner.
Listen, this woman is an executive, like she said. She's in the C-suite. Like even now, as she's doing this, she is on a business trip, and she's like, I'm keeping to my word. I'm going to find a corner in the room. We're going to make this happen, because this is the kind of woman she is. I remember when I was writing my doctoral dissertation, and I was like, listen, I need a quiet space to write. She was like, I got some office space. You can come over here and write with me. And day in, day out, month after month after month, she allowed me into her space, because she is all about not just collaboration, but doing business with God. And I'm telling you guys, when someone is doing business with God, they cannot lose. So she talks about it. You may find yourself with a business partner that taps out. You may find yourself losing money, but with God, just like the goat, I love that you gave that, you'll always find your way on top. So what is a mindset shift that people need to start thinking about if they want to really get into business or entrepreneurship or the C-suite like you were able to do as a woman?
So first of all, with that's a great question. The mindset shift that first of all hasn't happened is what I just said. You got to understand that the only real partner you need is God. Because early on when I started my first business, I saw potential in people. Right. And I said, oh, well, I want to start this. And what do you think? Oh, yeah, I want to learn to do that. But if God give you a vision, just run with it. Well, write it, write it, and then make it plain for those that are going to come and read it. But don't join what God gave you with anybody else unless he gives you permission to. And to all of my women out there that are listening, don't build jack with nobody that you ain't married to. Just don't do it. If he ain't already purchased, put a ring on it, signed the covenant agreements of marriage, then he has no legal right to the intellect and the vision that God gave you. That's number one. The second mindset shift that I want people to understand is that you are enough. You are enough. Your story makes you relevant to your audience. Don't try to talk to everybody. Talk to the people that you relate to, and they will come and they will follow you. And then the last mindset shift that I would say is that if God tells you to do it, my grandma used to say this, if God gave you the purpose, if he told you to go and do it, he'll make provision for it. He will make provision for it. So you don't have to scuffle and struggle. You gotta understand that the bridge that you need is you need a relevant solution coach, or you need a business coach. You need somebody that's going to help you to bridge the gap between where you are and where you're trying to go.
Listen, she said a mouthful. She said, listen, if God gives you something, run with it. We get divine ideas, run with it. If you're waiting to partner with someone or waiting for someone to validate you, you may never get it off the ground. Sometimes you have to hear, obey, and take God at his word. She also said that you are enough, which is powerful in and of itself, because sometimes we feel like, well, if I'm not doing it with a group, it's not enough. She also said, God's will, God's bill. He will provide if he gave it to you. So if you're doing business with God, God's will, God's will. I love it. What is one thing, like one business thing, if somebody wanted to get into business or they wanted to shift into business or entrepreneurship, they're ready to make that change. What's one thing that a listener could do this week to help getting them structured around leading someone or launching out into business?
Well, the first thing that they can do, and I'm gonna just give you a process that I take my mentees through. And I'm not a coach, you guys. I am an executor. So when you come over here, you got to do the work, right? But one of the things that I tell them is first, if God gave you an idea, sit down and write it down. Because the Bible says in the book of Luke, what man starts something and don't count up the costs, right? So, and the reason that you do that is not to bring fear to your life, but so you know your number. And if you know your number, then you can go and ask God specifically for what it is that you're going to do. That is everyday natural, something that you can do. The second thing that you can do is research your market. You need to know what market you're in and where you're going. And then after that, you come and you sit with Dr. Ebony, or you sit with me, and you decide how it is that you're going to create the proper structure. Because what you got to understand with all of this works together, tax code works together with starting a business. But if you think about it, guys, when you have a house and a storm comes, specifically a tornado, it can blow the whole structure down. But what's left? Always the foundation is still there. So the most important thing you can do is write that vision down, count up the cost, and then go to someone that has done it or that is doing it that can show you how to get there. Coaches are shortcuts to success.
Yes, yes. Dr. Rasheda has taught me so many things about womanhood, life, about business. Because like I was like, I don't know, I'm supposed to be doing something. I don't know. I think I'm supposed to be. And she's like, listen, I got that. That's easy. She was like, what else? What else do you need? Oh, you don't need that right now. You need this right now, because she knows. So what it helps you to do is cut everything down. All right. Okay. So now we're ready for the relevant solution rapid fire round. I want you to finish the sentence. Leadership is
a reflection of you. Absolutely. It is a mirror that shows you yourself.
You can't lead others unless you have truly led yourself. You cannot take anyone anywhere that you have not been. Success is
the measure of where you are. It is the measure of the work that you have put in and how you view it. Success is not what someone else says. Remember that validation is in God. And comparison is a killer of your dreams. So don't get it twisted. It will paralyze you. It will keep you from moving, looking to your left and to your right.
I love how you talk about success being individualized, because we can't measure each other's success. There's room at the table for all of us.
Faith is necessary. Without it, you will quit. And even more, even if what you're doing is your purpose, it won't please God without faith.
People need more
access and more knowledge. I have the keys to the gates, and I'm here to keep the gate doors open. And we are going to give you more access.
Time out in this year of collaboration and synchronization for being a gatekeeper. It's time to be a gateway. We all have room at the table. People need less.
I say scammers, but people need less courses. They need less courses. We are in information overload. From 2020 until now, people have been developing, throwing out courses. People need less of that. We now need to keep it moving.
Absolutely. Less courses, more execution.
More action. And in my corporate position, they call me Action Jackson. Because if they come and they bring me something, we're going to get it done. Because I don't believe in waiting. You guys got to quit. You got to stop waiting. You got to move. You got to take action. If you are paralyzed or stuck, you got to shake yourself, because we need to keep moving. You've got to execute the plans.
Faith without works is
nothing.
I love it.
The word of God says it's dead, but I'll tell you what I told somebody last week. I said, there's a reason that the word supernatural has two parts. There's a reason that it's a two-part word. It's the super and the natural. If you don't do the natural, you cannot expect God to add his super. But if you do the natural, then you can live in expectation of God adding his super to it so that you can experience the supernatural. We always have to give God something to work with. So if you're not doing anything, you're not working anything, then you absolutely can't expect God to do super because you haven't given your natural.
That is so good. What is a lesson you're still learning?
The lesson that I'm still learning, that's such a good question because I am on the other side of learning that lesson. The lesson that I'm still learning is that I can speak up, that
Ooh,
I can say what I mean, I can mean what I say, and I can be and I have validation in that, knowing that I understand who I am and I know what I'm going through. I know who I am and I know my value. Like I said before, I'm Rasheda.
yes,
God created me and I'm enough.
yes,
So I will continue to learn that lesson because that is what keeps us in a place of humility.
yes.
So, we have a hard time talking about accolades and all of the things that we have done. The list just keeps getting longer. But because we are people that walk in extreme humility, it makes us feel like we can't say what we really need to say. But God said that we ought to be bold as a lion. And so
Yeah.
we have the openness, the position, and I'm still learning that. And so I just pray that in the midst of everything that God is allowing me to experience, even this room I've been in, even the room I walked in before I got invited to a private meeting, before I came to this meeting, and even those rooms, I just pray that God, in all of the things he's about to explode in my life and in your life, that he just keep us humble.
Yes, yes, yes. If there was one word that has been in your spirit for this season, one word for this season, what would it be? Just like that could describe the fullness of it. What would that word be?
It is supernatural.
Yes, supernatural. And what is your relevant solution for everyday life?
Pray. It sounds like a cliche and people want to get away from it, but one relevant solution for everyday life is to pray when you open up your eyes and listen. Me and Ebony, we got a prayer life. I can get down, I can have a conversation with God for an hour because I
That's
got a lot of people to pray for. I got a lot of things to pray for. But I want everybody to understand. There's an acronym that we use in business that's called KISS. Keep it keep it simple, sweet. Do you understand that God just wants to hear from you? And prayer is just, Lord, I thank you for waking me up this morning. And you might be in a rush because y'all keep hitting the snooze button. Just go on, say, God, I thank you for waking me up this morning. Let your feet hit the floor. Do what you got to do. But always remember to come back to God and to pray. We're in the season where we cannot afford to not do business with God. We can't afford it.
guys, I want y'all to drop that in the chat. Do business with God. Like it is resounding throughout this entire interview. We want to do business with the next big name, with celebrities, with people who are big tickets. But when you do business with God, when we seek Him first, everything else is added. So, Dr. Rasheda, let us know where we can find you, where your products are, what solutions you offer. Let our listeners know where we can find you.
So you guys, you can find me on all social media platforms at Dr. Rasheda J. That's TikTok and Instagram. Facebook is Rasheda Jackson. Ain't no, huckabuck or nothing in front of that. It's Rasheda Jackson. You'll be able to find me. And those are really my relative pages that let you see me as a person. Be Free Tax has an Instagram page. We have a website. It's befreetax.com where we share business information with you, let you know what services we provide. And we are building two communities at one time. I don't know why we would do that, but that's what we're doing. We are building the Uncommon Network inside of school, and we are also building the business school. So the business school is open, and we are getting ready to launch the Vision to Shelf cohort where I'm going to take my 30 years of experience along with Ebony's sister who has not signed up, and I haven't even told her what we're doing yet. But we're about to take our corporate
You just
experience,
found
and
out.
we're gonna use what God gave us in the corporate realm to give access to people. So we're gonna not only bring them information, but we're gonna help them kick the doors down. So the Vision to Shelf Institute is inside the business school. We have not opened it yet because we need to finish building out the framework for it. But I want people that are in the invention space and the product space to get their even services, but to get their things out of their mind and onto the shelves in the stores and the places that they want to expand to.
I love that. Vision to Shelf inside of business school. That's SKOOL. She has 2 schools. Her business school, you can find it. You can search inschool.com and sign in, guys. We'll drop it down in the chat so that you can get a hold of Dr. Rasheda. She has been instrumental in my life, and I know that if she just has a few minutes of your life every single week or every month, or you can get behind what she's doing, she'll help to revolutionize you as well. So we thank you all for joining us for another episode of Relevant Solutions with Dr. Ebony. Remember, real talk, real people, real solutions. And no matter what challenge you're facing, there's always a pathway forward. Until next time, keep seeking relevant solutions for everyday life. Goodbye now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me for another episode of Relevant Solutions with Dr. Ebony. Before we close, I want to leave you with this. Every challenge deserves a solution, and every season has a purpose and a sound. No matter where you are today, remember your story is not over. If this conversation added value to your life, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and help us continue spreading relevant solutions around the world. For more wisdom, encouragement, and strategies, explore my books, Even Birds Get Tired of Flying, Walk Until You're Able to Fly Again, and Even Birds Run Again, A Journey of Faith, Failure, and Perseverance, which are all available on Amazon. If you're ready to continue the journey, I invite you to join the Solution family inside the Solution Room, our school community where leaders and learners gather to move, learn, and grow from their now to their next. And as always, my prayer is that you receive relevant solutions for everyday life. I'm Dr. Ebony Wallace. Until the world hears, real talk, real people, real solutions.